The reason why I want to share my story with you is because if you are watching videos like this, then you are probably not feeling too great about how things are going for you or how things look like they are gonna go for you. And if you're anything like me, then you want something different from this life. You want something more, or perhaps you don't even want success per se, but you want peace, you want freedom, you want to be your own person and you want to live your own life. Because the fact of the matter is that while we all have to do our part in this society, the system isn't made for everybody. Getting a normal job and working for somebody else just isn't for everyone. We are different. Everyone is different. And for example, me, I have noticed that as I have worked for 3 different employers now, I've been a programmer for 2, I'm a project manager for the 3rd. No matter what, no matter how good it is, like my current job, it's great, it's awesome. I have so much freedom. I can work from home. I can do my work in the way I see best. My boss is the most laid back boss ever. He trusts me and respects me and believes in me. Everything is great. Yet at the same time, I have this feeling I have to do something more. I have to get somewhere where I can do my own thing. It's this inner feeling of this just isn't for me. And while I try to do my best to be grateful and remember to be grateful for everything I have, there's still this nagging feeling that I want something different. And if you can relate to any of this, and especially if you are someone younger, that's why I'm making this video with the purpose of talking to somebody who's under 30 years old. Because I have had this feeling for such a long time. Something like 21, 22 years old or something is when I started to think and feel, and I found social media kind of at that age, I would say. And through finding social media, I saw influencers who, were making it big. They were becoming successful and getting loads of freedom and money, because money obviously equals freedom in a lot of cases. That just made things worse. And that is why I want to talk to you. That is why I want to share my story with you. And if you get something out of this, then that's going to be freaking awesome. Because here is the thing. When you get to 30 years old and you look back at your 20s, if you're not satisfied with what you did, like is the case with me, you can't change your past, obviously. So what can you do? There's a couple of things. You can learn from your mistakes and you can make your 30s better. But the other thing is, you can learn and you can observe and you can think and you can take all that and you can tell it to somebody else. And that's what I want to do. That's what I have decided to do, because I used to have this feeling that, am I too late? Is it too late for me to, for example, start this channel and start making these videos that are kind of in the self-improvement niche, which is very saturated? And then I realized that, it's never too. Who says it's too late? What does it mean? What does it mean to be too late? Why would it be too late? If there's a video on this exact topic that has 1 million views, that's only a fraction of people on YouTube who have seen that. So of course there's still a chance. So anyway, what were my mistakes? I procrastinated my whole 20s. I had all these thoughts that I'm gonna make, for example, a mobile game. I'm gonna make something, I'm gonna do something with my life and I'm gonna become successful. We can define that later in more detail, whatever that means, what it means for me, for example. But I never did anything really. I never took action because I just watched anime, YouTube, Twitch streams, and a lot of unhealthy pornography as a coping mechanism for emotional regulation. So when I would feel stressed and anxious, pornography would be the thing that would be the easiest way for me to alleviate that pain in that moment. So that's why I got addicted to that. And I do this because some people say it's not a real addiction, which is debatable, but nevertheless, when it's a compulsive thing that you do when you don't even want to do it, is pretty much an addiction. So in any case, when I look back into my 20s, I feel mostly regret that I didn't achieve anything, but then I also realized that there were a lot of good things that happened there. Like I traveled with my parents, who are now almost 70 years old, which means that it is so good that I spent that time with my family when I had a chance. And I had many good memories with my friends also. It's just that I was isolated in this small city apartment for a lot of the time because I was so glued to my screen. Because it was so easy. It's so easy to just sit home when you're an introvert like me. I'm a total introvert still. So it's so easy to get glued to your screen and then you just spend your time there and you don't go out. And I so freaking wish that I went out more and I met more people and I made more connections. I have a couple of friends I made through university during the very last years of university. Thank God I made those friends. But when I think about how awesome those friends are to me, who now live in another city, so I don't see them as much as I would actually like to, I wish I made more. I wish I made more friends. I wish I had more good memories with people instead of having so many memories with the computer screen. Although, don't get me wrong, I have some good memories of video games. I have some good memories of anime that I have watched, because here's the thing, all this fictional nonsense that a lot of self-improvement gurus out there would say you shouldn't watch because it's a waste of time. It's actually kind of like emotional entertainment. And then you might say, well, yeah, but how is that good? That's kind of like just wasting your time because it's just in the moment. Well, here's the thing. I watched tons of self-improvement and self-help videos in the past, like a lot, for many years. And absolutely none of those videos, not a single one of those videos changed my life at all whatsoever. So actually, those self-improvement helpful videos they were supposed to be, they were also just emotional entertainment. They made me feel good in the moment. They made me feel like, okay, that's very wise what he said right there. I should do that. I will do that today or tomorrow. And maybe I did. Maybe I had one better day. Maybe I had a better week, whatever it may be. And then I fell back into my old habits and nothing changed. So me watching those helpful videos actually didn't help me at all. It was just another form of entertainment. And when I look back at those things, I realize, what got me into hitting the gym since I was like 13 years old or something. And ever since, until this day, I have been hitting the gym. You know what actually got me into that? I loved the characters in the anime and in the video games that I used to consume when I was a kid. I wanted to look like freaking Goku from Dragon Ball or Kratos from God of War. That's why I hit the gym. So actually, and you know why I'm running? I'm running a marathon in September again. I watched an anime about running and I get motivated by that. So when I think about it, anime, which is complete fiction and entertainment, has changed my life more than any of these talking head self-improvement videos, which is kind of funny. But it just proves to me, you can obviously disagree. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm very interested in knowing everyone's opinion. Because this channel, I want to have a conversation with you guys. I'm not gonna just sit here and be like, oh, I'm so fucking smart. Because I'm not. So let me know what you think about this that I'm saying here. Because that's just the way it is for me personally. Anime and video games kind of changed me more than any of the talking head self-help videos did, which is pretty cool. So, okay, so I feel like my 20s were a waste of time because I draw my definition of success from the internet instead of drawing my definition of success from my parents. If I compared my life to my parents' life, sure, I don't have kids, they had kids, but some people don't want kids even. So it's not really a measurement of success per se. But I have my house in the countryside, I have a car, I drive around, I have friends, I have a remote job, I have a home gym. I'm pretty damn successful, actually. Sure, I have debt. Like, I don't have wealth. Sure, it sucks. I don't have financial freedom. That's one measurement of success, I suppose. But here's like, you understand what the point I'm trying to make. If I look at my parents, they went to work, they had normal jobs, they also had loan for the house. Like, that's normal. That used to be normal. But now I look at the internet and I look at all these guys making YouTube videos, which is one of the reasons why I'm making these videos. Of course it is. Do I want to help others out there? Of course I do, because it gives meaning. If you listen to some very wealthy multi-millionaires out there, they will tell you, yeah, it's nice to have money, but when you have money, you get used to money. So actually, money isn't anymore at that point the most important thing in your life. It's not the driving thing in your life anymore. Your purpose has to be found elsewhere. And for a lot of people, they say they find purpose in helping others and trying to make others' lives better as well. And I believe in that. And that is one of the reasons I'm making these videos. Not just the fact that it would be freaking awesome to make some money through making these videos. Damn, imagine if that happened. It would be so awesome, of course. So anyway, I still can't seem to have structure in these videos. I'm sorry. If you listened to this far, then thank you so much. I just have one more thing I think I want to share with you if you stay a little while longer. And it is that right now, as I'm sitting here, I feel frustrated. I feel like I should be further ahead in life. I feel like I'm falling behind my friends because my friends make more money, to be honest. I'm in like the lowest tier in my friend group when it comes to making money. And it's frustrating when you can barely pay the bills and the rent and you just feel like you wasted your 20s and this is the result. Now you are worse off and you are the one who has this feeling that you want to be something more and you want to do something more, and in reality you are the one who's making least, who's doing least, you know? So, of course I'm happy in the happy moments. You know, happiness is a momentary thing. It doesn't, you can't be happy 24/7. You just can't. We're gonna have bad days, we're gonna have stress, we're gonna have fights, we're gonna feel angry, we're gonna feel tired. So we shouldn't even imagine that we're ever gonna be happy all the time. That's one big mistake you might make if you haven't figured that out yet. So I try to find happiness in the moments. And yesterday, for example, I was fishing with my girlfriend in the evening, and it was peaceful. There was no wind. We could see the sunset. It was cloudy, but we could see the sun paint the clouds into this beautiful red color. And there were other people fishing also. So when they passed our boat with their boats, we would say hi to each other. And everyone looked so happy and relaxed and peaceful and calm. And I just looked around at the lake, at the trees, at the clouds. And I thought, this world is kind of, well, not perfect, but it's pretty close to perfect. It's just that humans fuck things up. And that can make things even worse for us, obviously. One thing is we watch the social media and we see all these people make tons of money and have tons of freedom, and we compare ourselves to them, and then we feel like crap. And then the other thing is you read about the genocides across the world and, hunger and poverty. And even though poverty is actually has been reduced ridiculously in like the past 20 years or something. So we just don't read about these things, that things are getting better. But I was actually imagining at that lake, imagine if somebody dropped bombs on that forest. Like, imagine the terror. And that's all by humans. Like, without all the bullshit by people, this world would be so good. Like, this world, this planet is so good. And why I want to share this as the last thing for this video is that if you're in your 20s and you feel like shit, it's not over. It's not too late. And change doesn't happen overnight. So when you watch this video, this isn't gonna change anything. I wish it would. Like, I wish I could make videos that literally change people's life. But nothing that you watch is gonna change your whole life. It can affect your perspective, and then you can actually start thinking that way. And then you can bit by bit start implementing changes. So yeah, you can argue a video can change your life, but not overnight. That's not how things usually tend to happen. It's normal to be 20 something years old and just play video games until late at night and then think, oh, I could have done this or that, but I just played video games. Yeah, so what? You're fucking 20. You should be doing, like, that's the normal thing to do. The normal thing to do is to play video games when you're 20 something years old. And as long as you just put a little bit of effort in, then from 20 years old to 30 years old, as long as you put a little bit of effort in, you're gonna make it to at least a decent place in life, like I have done. Yes, I have debt. I don't have any freaking wealth. I'm financially fucked rather than financially free. Sure, that's one thing I now have to fix somehow. But I have a remote job in the countryside, just like I wanted. Ever since I was 25 or whatever years old, I've wanted that, and now I have that. So what the hell? And this home gym, I'm sitting in my freaking home gym. I can't bitch about a lot, because this life is pretty damn cool. Sure, it's not the social media influencer, millionaire type of cool, but it's still pretty fucking good. And I have to remember that. And all I can say and tell to you is that I sucked at maths. I was never smart, yet I became a programmer and I got a career out of it. And now things are this good just because I put a little bit of effort in here and there. I played tons of video games, then I put in a little bit of work, then I watched tons of anime, then I put in a little bit of work, then I did this and put in a little bit of all those tiny little seeds of work that I put in back then grew into something this big. So now that's exactly what I'm doing with a couple of other things plus this YouTube thing. It's like these YouTube videos are these little seeds that I plant, and when I turn 40, let's see where I'm at when I'm 40, because I've been planting these YouTube seeds, for example, then at that point for like 10 years. That's the thing. Change and good stuff, they don't happen overnight, but they sure do happen eventually if you just keep putting a little bit of effort into things. So anyway, stress is the worst thing ever, and nothing else really matters. Nothing else is something we should try to control. We can't feel happy all the time, but we sure as hell should not feel stressed all the time, because that is not natural. In the past, many people make this comparison. In the past, people were chased by a tiger, so they felt stress. Now we are chased by a tiger that is called rent, and then another tiger that is called electricity bill, and then another tiger that is called mortgage, and another okay, rent and mortgage, not really happening at the same time, but you get the point. We have all these fucking tigers after us, and they're after us every fucking month. So in a way, they can be after us all the time in our heads, because we think about if we don't make enough money today, or if we waste too much money tomorrow, then the tiger is gonna get us. So we are preparing all the time for all these goddamn tigers. And that is so fucking exhausting. And what can we do about it? Well, all we can do is we can do our best, and we can try not to give a fuck, because we can't. The tiger called rent isn't gonna kill us. If I don't pay a bill, there is no one coming to my house and freaking killing me for it. So why does it really matter so much? Why do we stress about money so much when it's not gonna? Lack of money doesn't kill us, not in these countries where we get to watch YouTube. It's pretty rare these days to live in a country where not having money will literally kill you. It's gonna suck being poor, sure, but anyway, me sitting here in my home gym and then being like, oh, maybe I don't have money to pay for something extra, is like the most privileged thing ever. And it's so ridiculous. It just exposes how we humans, we never have enough. Even if I made $1 million, would it be enough if I don't change my mind, if I don't change my perspective? Would it be enough? If I sit here and I still complain, what is enough? When is it gonna be enough? These are questions I need to answer. That's what I need to learn in my 30s. That's what I need to figure out in my 30s. Anyway, comment below what you think, if any of this resonated in any way. Leave a like for the video, that would help a lot. And of course, subscribe if this is anything you found interesting or helpful. Would be awesome if it was helpful. And I will see you in the next one. I try to make 2 videos a week because I'm gonna step up my game on the YouTube. So I'm not just making 1 video a week anymore, because fuck that. I'm done with excuses. I don't have excuses other than being lazy as fuck. But I don't want that. That's not gonna get me where I want to get next. The next goal is making my 30s way more awesome than my 20s. So I'm gonna get after it and go edit this video and then do squats and then go run. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.